got a reading for you about somebody who is about to meet a new love, or somebody who has been getting to know someone that makes them feel like maybe they could actually be in a relationship and feel comfortable with this person. There's some sparks flying, but also a potential or like developing trust with this person. It seems like you could actually feel like they would treat you with respect and show you the love that they feel. And I think this is validation for that. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime chime, or a lot. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com, which is in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Let's start with, we'll start with the Tarot of the Nile. What else do we have? Seven of Swords, Hierophant in the reverse, the World. Ooh, okay, I like that. Seven of Swords is not exactly like a lovey-dovey card. It's about dishonesty and trickery, somebody who doesn't necessarily shoot straight, right? They would probably be manipulative or creating illusions. And then we have Hierophant in the reverse, which is coming through as somebody who's non-committal. Maybe I'll flirt around with the idea of a relationship, but when it comes to actually being in that exclusive connection, that's when this person kind of like backs away from it, right? So this is a type. This is an experience that I think whoever I'm reading for, this would be a series of behaviors or a toxic energy and relationships that you've dealt with in multiple scenarios, not just one person. But the world is about a chapter coming to a close. So there's an ascension or an elevation, a new chapter in love, because you aren't accepting the same things. You have learned not to pursue certain types of people, or not to waste your time on individuals who just kind of give the illusion that they're interested in something serious. Seven of Wands in the reverse, King of Swords. It's like, I know when to be vulnerable. I'm not going to be, you know, just being nice to somebody and hopeful that they're being honest with me. It's like, I've got to be a little bit more honest with myself about who am I dealing with? Can I trust them? Should I be pursuing something with this individual? Or are there problems that are kind of echoes of previous relationships? We do, by the way, have 3 sevens that have come through, and I've only pulled 6 cards. So that's statistically relevant. Seven of Pentacles tells me you know what you want to invest your time and your energy in. At this point, you're not going to get distracted by a situationship or someone who you know has a very different perspective on what life they want to lead versus what you do. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, Strength in the reverse. There may have been one person in particular or several for you, but there was definitely some non-committal, toxic, codependent energy in a relationship where it felt difficult to walk away, even though you knew that person was not going to do right by you. Hello, Larry. Hello, Bernard. How's it going? With the Seven of Cups and the Two of Wands, it's like you've realized there's a different path. Well, maybe life would be easier if I was more selective. Maybe if I were to focus on myself and the things that are important to me, and not jump into a relationship with somebody just because I find them attractive or just because we have, you know, 2 fun dates, then maybe life would be a little bit less complicated, a little bit more under control. So this shift or this change in behavior for you, where you weren't repeating old behaviors or letting individuals kind of manipulate you into thinking that something was serious when it wasn't, it's improved like your quality of life. You're able to avoid a lot of the drama that you had encountered in previous connections. This is the Morgan Greer. What else do we have? Two of Pentacles, Six of Swords in the reverse. Five of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so there was a decision that you had to make. Whoever I'm reading for had to choose to walk away from something that was not improving. And I do think this one would be more specific. It might have been like the boss level in your video game of love, right? The person that was most difficult to walk away from. You realized how much time you had dedicated to waiting for this person, and you cut that cord, or you decided to let go of that connection. This is like drawing in blessings for you. Seven of Swords, Queen of Wands in the reverse, and the Empress. Because this person, the most recent or the like most difficult example of this lesson for you, they had been blocking your ability to manifest. So you were not able to draw in the opportunities that you deserve. You were not able to find the love that you deserve. But when you cut them off, when you walk away from them, it upgrades you to the Empress. Doesn't matter if you're a woman or not. This is talking about energy. The person who was blocking you is someone who you've cut off, and that's why things are improving in your life, because you're demonstrating that you learned that's not something that's worth waiting around for. That's a connection with somebody who doesn't seem to be focused on working on themselves or doesn't want to be held accountable for how they act or how they treated you. So this honesty, even though it may have been a little bit painful with yourself about whether or not there was a future with this person, has led to a decision to walk away from it or accept it for what it was in your life. Hello, Idris. How you doing? Hello, Austin. Aw. That's all right. Hello, E. How are you doing? We've got the Lovers and the Ten of Wands in the reverse. This person who was a little difficult for you to walk away from or to like let go of the dream that maybe you two could be together someday. You had to be honest with yourself about how much it like drained your energy or how much of a distraction it was from the other things that you could be doing with your life. So the Lovers can be about a decision. I don't know if I can show you this card because it's got no clothes. You have to be honest with yourself sometimes, you know? You can love someone a ton and really want the best for them, but until they choose that for themselves, and until they choose to like work on the things that are blocking them, you really can't like drag them across that finish line, right? They have to choose that for themselves. So you let go. Seven of Wands in the reverse. Because vulnerability is good when it's in the context of, you know, you can be emotionally vulnerable and build trust with somebody. But if we have a connection where someone feels like they have to leave you in a state of questioning what's going on in your connection just so that you are consistently chasing or pursuing a connection with them, that idea of breadcrumbing to keep you interested, it doesn't really go anywhere. And you realize that it was really just a game. So with Ace of Wands, we have a focus on the new energy around you, meeting new people, going to new places, maybe even moving elsewhere. But I see someone being much more open to the idea of meeting someone new and not being so closed off to who could potentially be their life partner. Hello, Fate. How are you doing? Thank you, Matt. Hello, Grindhard. How are you doing? Hello, AW. That is not my specialty. Yeah, no thanks. Hello, Luis. How are you doing? Hello, Electric Tomato. It's okay. They're nice, Detroit. Everything's good. You have the Eight of Wands, the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Wow. Four of Swords and Justice in the reverse. So when you communicate that you are done with this connection, when you communicate that you're no longer going to invest with someone who doesn't really seem to be interested in investing or returning that. No, thank you. Yes, this is a general reading. Hello, Jose. How are you doing? Buenas tardes. Isn't it buenos? No, it's buenos. We've got the Four of Swords and Justice in the reverse because this is somebody who had multiple chances. Multiple decisions were made to not do right by what they may have felt obligated to do for you. If they loved you, it may have scared them. If they wanted a long-term commitment, it may have made them concerned that you would inevitably reject them. They may have felt like they had to play games in order to somehow win, in order to delay what they perceive to be as the inevitable, where you would walk away or find someone better or realize that they aren't who you think they are. So it's about keeping up an illusion, which is why they came out with the Seven of Swords twice. Nine of Wands in the reverse. Two of Swords. Seven of Cups. Other options. I'm not going to hold space for somebody who has shown an inability to prioritize other people's feelings or prioritize the things that are needed to be done for healing, prioritize honesty or being direct. We have the Scissors for the Two of Swords, which is a pretty easy representation or symbol for cutting someone out of your life. Seven of Cups, choosing a different option. I gave you plenty of opportunity to fix things or address what was causing issues, and this person walked away multiple times. So I see whoever I'm reading for, you're just like, meh, I tried, but now it's time for me to like get a move on. Seems like this is a dead end. Seems like there's nothing that's going to change here because you haven't been interested in changing. Even though, whoever I'm reading for, you have been interested in changing. So the Queen of Swords is about boundaries. The King of Wands is the same person. Whoever I'm reading for, you're both of these energies, basically saying, if this is not going to go anywhere, then I'm going to go see what else is out there. I don't need to be waiting here for something that may never happen or someone who may never come back. Hello, Baden. How are you doing? Hello, Empress. How are you doing? Very possible. Hello, Susan. How are you? So we have the Four of Cups, Ace of Swords in the reverse, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Wheel of Fortune, change of destiny, or looking at different options, different paths that your life could take. Realizing that you deserve to be with a partner that's going to be honest with you or is able to be vulnerable with you in an emotional way, able to communicate those things, because you don't need to be playing guessing games when you're trying to figure out how your partner feels. Like, it shouldn't be an IQ test. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Wheel of Fortune. Knight of Pentacles is like, time's up. I've already given so much time hoping that you would be able to adjust these things, and you haven't. So time for a change. Hello, Barbara. How are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, Unlaughable. Is your algorithm upsetting you? Yes, milk tea, especially this Santa Muerte deck. If you look back how long I've been doing this YouTube channel, like I just recently reposted a reading that I did from 3 years ago. This is one of the first tarot decks that I got. So this Santa Muerte one in particular, there's some where I barely have to see it and I know what it is. There are also, though, some that are a little bit confusing. Seven of Cups and Nine of Cups kind of look similar, so Always have to check those. Yeah, but that's one of the reasons I have so many sets, because you can pick up on different details depending on what artistic rendition you have of those concepts. Hello, DJ. How are you doing? Well, unlaughable. First thing I would say is, do you believe that you have more than one soulmate? Hey, Aiden. We don't do that here. Full respect on the religious beliefs. I have no problem with those. But if you're going to be in here trying to judge, I will block you. We have resentment, hurt and bitterness over unfair treatment. I hope that changes for you, DM. Hey, Hayden. Hey, unlaughable soulmate. Do you feel like that implies there's only one out there ever that you could be happy with? You have soulmates that are platonic. You have soulmates that are romantic. There are people that are in your life that you have a very intense connection with, but no romantic connection. And those are soulmates as well. Really good friends, close family members, maybe even mentors in terms of like your business or your education. You have soulmates that are romantic, maybe even karmic soulmates that even though it wasn't a perfect connection, they help you understand what you need to work on from an emotional standpoint or self-awareness standpoint. There are multiple people that you could be in a happy, healthy relationship with. If you perceive there to be just one person in the world who could potentially be in a happy connection with you, that's awfully limiting. So, you know. Hello, Robert. How are you doing? Hey, Mavis. What's up? Twin flames, I would say, is different than soulmate. Twin flame, that's just you and that other person. However, do not mistake that for meaning that is the only person you can be with, because you have twin flames. If you're in a twin flame journey, you have a twin flame, right? And then you have soulmates as well. So if the twin flame does not go through their healing journey, if they do not want to work on the things that they need to work on, and you do, you have those other soulmates, people who have worked on their healing. So it would appear that we have that situation here because we have the better now, healing wounds within the relationship, and yet one half still has the resentment. So one party of this pair has been working on their healing and the other one has not really been doing the work. Hey, Grandheart, how you doing? How did she... Oh, she thought you were messing with her? Huh. All right, I will ask that. And has she been talking about you? And while you were texting today? All right. I got that written down. Thank you. I appreciate you, Grindhard. Yep, sometimes it's like that, Empress. Oops. All right, what else do we have? Wow, forever and ever, marriage or long-term commitment, and liar, liar. Someone here is being dishonest. Interesting. So it feels to me like we have a long-term commitment from the individual who was like avoiding it. and they're not being honest about how that relationship is going. It's like they want to create some jealousy with their, perhaps it's twin flame or their ex, someone that they feel should be like chasing them, right? Hello, Bitchy Tata. How are you doing? Hello, Harris. No, thank you. Let's see. What should we use next, you guys? We'll go with the Energy Oracle. What do we have? Fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael, which is number 38. And the world. The world talks about connections, people that you know. This makes me feel like the rejection is protection principle applies to this situation. We've got someone who wanted to be able to manipulate you and keep you coming back for more, make you think that there was some possibility that they would change in the ways that they needed to change in order to treat you the right way. I'm going to ask it in a semi, like PG-13 or PG way. But I got you. All right, what else do we have? Strategy. And another angel, seventh chakra, Archangel Uriel. So whoever I'm reading for, you would have been, you might have Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius featured prominently in your chart. But I think primarily the reason we have the Queen of Wands in the reverse going to the King of Wands in the upright is because you were blocked. You had a period of stagnation, or things weren't really working out for you the way that it should. And when you move on from this person, all of a sudden things are going to improve for you. And it's difficult to pinpoint the exact moment, perhaps, but the boundaries that you put in place, this would be the catalyst for the change for you. So this strategy is basically changing from being centered around one person, what do I need to do in order to make this work, to what do I need to do to be where I want to be? What makes me happy? What goals do I have? What things do I want to see achieved? So high five to you. I wouldn't disagree on that one. In fact, I fully embrace that. So, no problem, Yonk. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? Have a good one, Electric Tomato. Hey, Yonk. The goal is to make sure that we have a sense of community with others who are working on themselves, that are interested in, you know, self-awareness, having a purpose in life, having some positive legacy, not settling in relationships where maybe it's just more about codependency than love or fulfilling what you need in life. But if that's not your thing, that's totally fine. I would just ask you not to bring any negativity into the live chat, okay? Yep, exactly. That's all right, Hayden. All right, so we have intimacy and purpose, just like I was saying. So I can't hold back on the things that I am meant to do in my life. I know there's a path for me. So whoever you are, this King of Wands makes so much sense because it's somebody who has this sense of direction and that like go get 'em attitude. I'm not going to let anything stand in my way. Maybe I got a little caught up. Maybe I got a little distracted thinking that this is where I needed to be. But I think I actually have to go over there. So moving forward and letting go of somebody that wasn't really willing to look at the surroundings, look at the reality of the situation. They were kind of just living in their own world, right? Oh, that's awesome, Carmencita. I hope that goes well. Hello, DM. How are you doing? Hey, yeah, I don't disagree with you, Yonk. I just want to stress that there are multiple ways to get to that, right? Hello, Vichitata. How are you doing? So we have journey. Road, planes, distance, movement, relocation, visits, and whispers, depth, inward, meditation, higher self, and existence. That's beautiful. I love that the colors are very similar or very soft because it speaks to like a caring energy, a loving energy, things being more peaceful. Not having to wonder if you're dealing with somebody who is dishonest. Maybe you feel like your friendship group is smaller, but at least it's with people that you feel like you could trust, right? What else? And then we have unknown, unfamiliar territory, void, obscure, wait, risk, and trial. Yeah. If you know that something isn't going to work out, if you know that someone isn't interested in doing right by you, then why stick around? This is the Marigold Tarot. Hello, Snowflake. How are you doing? I know, right, CDP? Hello, Bitchy Tata. Oh, wait, I just said hello to you, didn't I? We've got King of Cups, Knight of Swords, and the reverse. Interesting. I think this is the new love interest. The Knight of Swords is already fast-moving energy. When it's in the reverse, it can be a little bit impulsive. And I do think that this is because somebody is feeling attracted or interested in you, and they don't want to let the moment pass where they feel like they might be able to take you out or get your number or tell you that they have a crush on you. So there's someone who decides to take that leap of faith and see if you're also interested in them. Hey, Steven, how are you doing? Oh, I got you, Hayden. Emperor in the reverse. The Sun. Temperance. Yep. So, Emperor in the reverse is about letting go of control. And look, it's good to have self-control. It's good to have control over certain things in your life, right? But everything is about a balance, which is why the Temperance card coming out right now is so perfect, because we have to allow for life to also be a little bit of a river. It's going to veer in places we didn't expect. Maybe there's even a waterfall in terms of like, okay, sharp drop off, didn't expect that to end, didn't expect to go no contact with that person, or didn't think I would be finding a new job. There's an ability here to be adaptable that is new for someone. Maybe not completely new, but it's like, okay, I don't have to be the one to plan everything out. I can have a strategy and still be flexible, but it doesn't have to be one particular person that could make me happy. So this enlightenment, right? We had that card come out. This enlightenment to maybe there's more than one soulmate. Maybe this person, if they're not going to work on themselves, is not like the end all be all for my love life. then maybe I can manifest a different situation. Maybe I can find happiness elsewhere. Hello, Sam. Is it Samia? How are you doing? 5 of Cups and the Knight of Wands. Oh, this person from your past doesn't like this. This could be your twin flame. Doesn't have to be. But this ex from your past is like, what? You don't think I'm cute anymore? You don't want me anymore? That doesn't make sense. They're upset because you stopped giving them attention, because they stopped feeling your energy, because you choose someone else, because you choose to focus on yourself, or you put yourself back out there. They feel something about your choice not being them. They feel you walking away and it upsets them. Hello, Gypsy. How are you doing? We have the World. Talks about an ending of a chapter, right? No more of that same old codependent love or manipulative love. Judgment and the Hermit in the reverse. Because I know this is somebody who's not seeking to like work on that. I know this person has an ability to just kind of ignore what they need to do. And we can't really get along that well, can we? If I'm focused on trying to like improve and work on myself, and they don't seem to be interested in that. That's funny. So we've got the Page of Cups, a love offer, and some excitement over a new connection, some flirtation. Let's see. I'm going to go for probably like another 4 minutes, 5 minutes for the general reading, and then I'm going to start with the personal questions. Okay, y'all? Hello, Real Chief. How are you doing? Thank you. Yes, time for something better, right? So we've got lockbox, closed in, trapped, and frustrated. Plugged, tuned in, internet, connected. Denial, not facing truth, irrational reasoning. This person from your past doesn't want to be honest about what's going on, what responsibility they carry for how things have gone between the two of you, the fact that they've lied to you or been a little bit like deceptive with regards to what they intend or what they want, how they feel. In other words, they don't want to be honest that it's probably their own fault that you're walking away. They are pretending that something will change, or they're pretending that they've been this like catch, you know, like, oh, I treated you so great. The reality is they've been pretty immature. For some of you, you might have children with this person. For others of you, you may want to start a family and you can't see yourself being able to trust this individual to be a good parent. And there's this encounter with someone else. And this is the new love. The twin flame or the person from your past, this ex, being in denial, it's not just about how they treat you or what they need to work on. It's also that they really don't think that you could fall in love with someone else. And the universe is like, really? Hold my beer. I bet I could find someone that they fall in love with. Just watch. It might turn them into a bit of a drama queen when they find out that you are hanging out with someone else. And especially since many of you are potentially going to be getting in an exclusive relationship, moving in, or even getting married to this person. At whatever stage they find out that you're in a new relationship, they're going to like throw a temper tantrum. They're going to be a big baby about it. I don't think that's that insulting, is it? But they're going to be a big baby. They're going to be like, weh, weh. Because they really did think that you were always going to be coming back around to them. They really did feel like there was something here that made you feel like there was always a possibility that the two of you could be together. All right, I'll pull a few from here, and then we're starting with those personal questions. Hello, Dharmendra. How you doing? Thank you, Grant. Should I be an actor? That's a good question, Milk Tea. So I would say that's a big part of it, because realistically speaking, each tarot deck has, at least most of them, maybe 90% of the tarot decks out there have their own booklet, and they might have a slightly different list of definitions or words that are associated with each card. That being said, the artistic details can draw you into a particular interpretation of it. And then there's also channeling. Do you hear anything, see anything, feel anything, like songs or anything like that that adds to the message? All right, what else do we have, please? We have Justice, Ten of Cups in the reverse, King of Wands in the reverse, Nine of Swords, the Devil, and the Two of Swords in the reverse. So this person is losing their mind because they feel like you have betrayed them, basically. You have chosen someone else, or they can't believe like the audacity. Hello, James. How are you doing? They can't believe that you would even consider someone else. Like, they probably have a bit of an ego problem, I'm not going to lie. King of Wands in the reverse, this is their anger. This is their anxiety. I don't know that this person's very comfortable with expressing feelings of hurt or crying or vulnerability. So this could be very natural for them to express things in an angry way versus admitting that they feel rejected or hurt. But they do have some sense of obsession with you, even as their main goal seems to have been trying to make sure that you're obsessed with them, right? Hello, Myra. Hello, Daytona. How are you doing? All right, let's get a few cards for Grindhard here. This is the Pause Tarot. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, thank you to those of you who have been gifting memberships. That's so sweet of you. I think the most recent one was Erkin. Thank you. All right, so for Grindhard, did she think that he was messing around with her, or messing with her with regards to saying that you were going to be in her life, right? Is that how you phrased it? She's struggling a little bit with believing everything that you say, but I don't know that that's necessarily like because of who you are. It's like she's trust but verify type, right? You don't have a ton of credit with me yet. I don't know you very well. So I have to be like on my game, like make sure I'm checking everything and making sure that you're honest, making sure that you're, you know, not fooling. So yeah, she might be a little bit slow to trust. So she's gonna be a little bit reserved perhaps. There is though flirty energy here. Has she, let me just make sure. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so we have, has she been talking good about Grindhard while they were texting? Yes. Possibly to a coworker. Five of Swords, Page of Wands. Five of Swords is in the reverse. That's actually kind of sweet. Saying like maybe I was a little bit too harsh or like judged him too soon. Page of Wands is about communication. So I feel like it's your communication style that's being discussed here, you know? Oh, did you do that? Oh, thank you, Grindhard. That's so nice. All right, so let's see. Why did he feel her like love and energy? There's a change happening for her in terms of how she perceives you, her openness to like trusting you, being vulnerable for you. She does feel like she's getting closer to like just being able to be herself or not feel so hesitant or needing to suppress feelings, that kind of thing. So I do feel like the trust that she has for you is growing or becoming more real, right? Hey, Myra, please don't repeat your comment. All right, so we've got, is she, I'm asking it as, is she attracted to you? Like, is she looking for the intimacy? Yes. How do I say this? Okay, so there's, there's a song by The Neighborhood called A Little Death. And that is a reference to what, I don't think they really do anymore, but what used to be used as like a euphemism for an orgasm. Can I say that on YouTube? Are they gonna get mad at me for that? I hope not. It's like a scientific term, right, you guys? Hello, Robert. How are you? Hello, Ben. What's up? This is a yes. Death is a scary card. Some people are like, oh my God, no. But I'm just saying that I know what it really means. Thank you, Carmencita. So we've got Seven of Wands in the reverse. Walls are coming down, feeling a little bit more comfortable around you, feeling a little bit more like she can trust you, and that's great. I appreciate and respect you for being able to kind of slow down the pacing and be respectful of her need for that. So rooting for you. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.